Hello, English 2327. Forgive my t-shirt. Today is clean the house day, so I'm dressed in my t-shirt and shorts, and that's just the way it is. Life gets complicated. I want to talk to you about the second half of the Scarlet Letter. Some things that I want to mention, and I don't have lecture notes in front of me. I'm just going to hit on some of the highlights that really concern me about the second part of the Scarlet Letter. In the first video on the Scarlet Letter, I asked you to think about what you feel about how you feel about Pearl. Pearl is an interesting character. A lot of my students have a lot of sympathy for Pearl, and they like her quite a bit in a way that I do not. I think she's a brat. I mean, first of all, you know, when the elders of the town are considering taking Pearl away from Hester based on the fact that Hester has not taught her religious schooling, you know, and Pearl goes in and plays dumb. I mean, oh my God, Pearl definitely knew the answers to those questions. She just wasn't giving them because she was being a brat. I would have smacked her. Sorry, I'm old school. Pearl, when Hester and Dimmesdale are trying to have a conversation in the woods, and Pearl would not come near Hester until she put the Scarlet Letter A back on. You know, again, brat, when I call you, you're coming here right now, regardless of what I'm wearing or not wearing, right? So Pearl just really, she grates on my nerves. And second of all, remember when Dimmesdale lost that glove? What do you want to bet Pearl lifted it and left it there just as evidence? Okay, anyway, that's my take on Pearl. But the question is, the psychological question going on here, and Nathaniel Hawthorne would have been very interested in this, is can something good come from something bad? Can something good come from something bad? And that's the whole point of the character of Pearl and the incident between Hester Prynne and Dimmesdale. Can something good come from something that is technically bad, you know? You know, that's left up for you to decide at the end of the story. Oh, by the way, Chillingsworth, oh my God, don't you hate him? Or do you feel sorry for him? Now in class, I usually read a passage in the textbook where Chillingsworth is taking responsibility for some of what happened, you know? And that can elicit some sympathy for him. I don't know if it elicited any sympathy that you might have for him, but it does for some people. I feel like it's a very honest passage, but by and large, you know, he is the representation of evil in the book. You know, the fact that he would intentionally try to harm Dimmesdale, you know, it's unethical, it's unchristian, it's on everything, right? It's hypocritical to what people in that society are claiming to be. So Chillingsworth is quite an interesting dude. And, oh my God, when Dimmesdale and Hester book passage to go back to England, and Chillingsworth puts himself on that same boat so that he can continue to torture Dimmesdale, oh my God, doesn't that just, I mean, that's like beyond the pale. I mean, here are these people trying to go and start a new life and do better for themselves, and he's going to block them every chance he gets, and that's just wrong, you know? There's just something very evil about that. Another thing that crossed my mind a couple of days ago is I was thinking about the Scarlet Letter A, standing for adulterer, okay? I'm going to question that because I don't think Hester nor Dimmesdale qualify as adulterers, because adultery is when you are cheating on your marriage. And, okay, Dimmesdale's not married, that's clear. Hester, as far as anyone knew, her husband was dead. You know, he was lost at sea. He was drowned at sea. Nobody knew he was even alive. So for all cause and purposes, you know, Hester doesn't know that she's cheating on her husband. She doesn't think she has a husband. Perfectly reasonably, she thinks she doesn't have a husband. Nobody thinks she has a husband. Everybody thinks her husband was killed at sea because he had been missing for so many years. I mean, why wouldn't you think that he's dead? So I'm not sure Ave, her adulterer, is really accurate, but I don't think Hawthorne would have spent a lot of time thinking that through, you know, or thinking about that at all. You know, he was just trying to make a point here. And yeah, okay, I get it. And the Puritans did believe a lot in public humiliation, that was a way to atone for your sins and la la la. So really it could have been anything on her chest, anything that would have publicly marked her as having sinned. And when we talk about can something good come from something evil, we can broaden that out to be not just about Hester and Pearl and Dimsdale or whatever, but can something good come from anything bad that happens, you know? A lot of times bad things happen. I mean, that's just life. Bad things happen to everybody. A lot of times bad things happen, and especially when we are younger, we tend to think, oh my God, this is the end of my life, and you know, I don't even remember being your age. But the point is, we need to keep in mind that if you think something good can come from something bad, then you shouldn't be too fatalistic when something bad happens. Because if you believe something good can come from something bad, then something good can come from something bad. That's all a matter of personal perspective, and it can get you through some really tough times if you happen to believe that something good can come of this. And I think a lot of times good things can come from bad things, especially when you use that, you know, bad thing, whatever it was, to turn around and help others. You know, maybe you're going through that experience has a purpose, because now you can help others when they are confronted with a similar experience. That is the first and most obvious way to turn something bad into something good, is to use it to help others. And a lot of people think that that's why we're on this earth, that God put people here to help each other. So, you know, think about that. Can something good come from something bad? I think those are the highlights that I wanted to hit on for the second part of the Scarlet Letter. And we very quickly move on to the Salem witch trials. We have Cotton Mather. You have the readings on eCampus. You have a quiz on eCampus. And then we start the Heretic's Daughter. And the Heretic's Daughter, I think it's posted in your learning materials, a digital version, but you can also pick up, you know, a hard copy anywhere. They're available anywhere. Every library will have one. You know, Half Price Books will have them. Amazon will certainly have them, but it's linked under your learning materials. I checked that out. The Uncle Tom's Cabin that was linked there was not the right version. So Uncle Tom's Cabin will have to come from Townsend Press, just like I wanted you to get the Scarlet Letter from Townsend Press. So Uncle Tom's Cabin is later on in the semester, but given that it takes time for those books to arrive, you may want to order it sooner rather than later. And that should hold us for a while. As you are reading Cotton Mather, it is going to be about the same person who's featured in The Heretic's Daughter. So those two readings are very much related. Let me tell you a little bit about The Heretic's Daughter. I take the train to and from school when we're in school. And one day I got on the train and I looked down the car, you know, just to see how crowded it was. And all I saw were, hang on just a moment. All I saw up and down the train car was this. Everybody was reading their Heretic's Daughter book. I have many students who tell me that that's their favorite book now, and they didn't realize that they would ever have a favorite book. And I had one student, and this touched my heart, I had one student say to me, wow, Miss Bradley, I didn't know I liked to read. Of course you like to read, you just hadn't had the right book yet. And the other interesting thing is, I actually met this author. She lives in Dallas. I actually met her at Half Price Books and in October of 2014. and she signed it to the students of El Centro. It says, to the students of El Centro, with awe and affection, Kathleen Kent. Kathleen Kent is a direct descendant of Martha Carrier. You know, Martha Carrier was her great-great-great-great-grandmother or whatever. So the author is related to this woman who is being accused of witchcraft. And I will talk to you more about The Heretic's Daughter when we get to that place in the semester. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you on eCampus.